Hello everyone, what is up? Today we have a more casual video. Today I'll be making a tier list about every single fighting type in the entire Pokemon series. Now, as you guys know, I, Namranan, am a very avid fighting type enthusiast, and I love fighting types quite a bit. So, I think it would be very nice to see like what my opinions are on the fighting types of this tier on here. So when I make a tier list of these guys, I'm listing them based on two things: their design and also how they are used in competitive play. So they could have a really good design, but if they're garbage in competitive play, then I'm going to not put them in like a high rank. So without further ado, let's start with Heracross. So Heracross is a solid A rank in my opinion. Very solid looking mon, very solid in competitive play. I wouldn't call it S tier in any of those regards though. It's still super solid. I don't really think it's a bad mon, but I think I wouldn't really call it an S rank mon. It just feels weird putting it there. Hitmontop. Hitmontop is a rather strange mon, so I put it in B because he has a really sick design, but in singles he's really garbage, but in doubles he's super fire. Like, actually, he's like probably one of my favorite Pokemon to use in doubles because of his fake out, intimidate, wide guard, and quick guard shenanigans. Like, he has a lot going on in doubles, and I really like using him. And I think if it wasn't for how good he was in doubles, I'd probably put him in C because his competitive viability is just really, really bad. But his design is also really good, so that also helps him quite a bit. But yeah, Hitmontop definitely a B rank mon, definitely not in the same tier as Heracross, so I think this is a pretty fair ranking. Combuskin. This mon, uh, this mon I think would be probably either below or on the same rank as Hitmontop. I'm gonna put him below for now because obviously not super competitively viable because he's an NFE Pokemon, so I'm purely ranking him based on style alone. But yeah, on style alone, it looks alright. I don't really think he's super fire, but I think his evolution is just a little bit better, in my opinion. Speaking of his evolution, this guy is definitely going into A rank. Actually, no. I think he's probably one of the S rank fighting types because this guy is just so good. He's so good and competitive that he's gotten banned, what, like twice, I believe? He's gotten banned like twice. And he's just extremely good. Like, he's so good, and he looks so cool while doing it, too. With his sword stance, speed boost nonsense, like, ugh, he's just a pinnacle of what a fighting type should be. Just a really oppressive, really strong Pokemon that can just, like, obliterate you in a few hits. And it's also really hard to wall, so yeah. I definitely say that if I was to think of a fighting type, Blaziken would definitely be one of them. And I'll put Mega Blaziken on the same ranking as him because obviously he still looks cool. Still looks cool and is still really good. Not as good as regular Blaziken, but still, I think he's pretty awesome. Alright, next up we got Breloom. Breloom is one of my favorite Pokemon, but even I have to say he's an A rank mon. Because he's still competitively pretty good. I'd say he's still really solid mon competitively and also design wise, but just like Heracross, I can't really say he's super excellent at either. Like, he's like not super outstanding in like either category in my opinion. So just like Heracross, I think putting Brillium at this rank is still decent. I mean, he may have Spore, which is like probably one of the best things about him, but yeah, no, I don't really think I could put him above A rank. As much as I do love this Pokemon and love using it, I don't think I could put him above A rank on my tier list. Makuhita, we're always going to put in D. Actually, I might just make a new tier below D real quick. Let's see, add a row below. Change this to gray, and So yeah, we're just gonna put Makahita here because it's not good in LC at all. It's not good in LC at all, and it's just really not. It really doesn't do anything for me personally. So I don't really think it's worth ranking, in my opinion. I mean, he looks alright, but like, yeah, he just really doesn't do it for me, and he's like super unviable. So yeah, Haruyama on the other hand, yeah, I'm gonna have to put him on the same rank as Combuskin, because I like this mon's look, and I like the sumo wrestler take on him. And I remember using him like early on when I played a competitive, because like I was so obsessed with him having like 2,000 attack, 2,500 attack because of belly drum plus guts, flame orb, and I thought that was super cool when I was younger. But obviously now that I know how competitive works, I realized that that's not practical, and as a result, Hariyama's just not really hitting that much for me. I mean, he's still got a pretty alright design, but I don't really think he's not good competitively. So I can't really say he's one of my favorite fighting types. He's just not that fun to use. And even in doubles, even though he had like a good niche in doubles on like one of the VGC years, I'm pretty sure, he's just not that great, in my opinion. Yeah, I would put him with the same rank as Hitmontop, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem. I don't think that'd be correct putting him in the same rank as him. All right, Metatite's also going in NFE. Metacham. Hang on, is Mega Metacham on here? Huh, that's weird. I don't. Oh, yeah, it's on here. But yeah, if we're talking regular Metacham, I'd probably put them in C rank. This mon does not look pretty. It looks really weird to me, in my opinion. Even though I know what it's trying to go for, but it still looks really odd. I don't really like the lips that much. I'm not really into that, but yeah, design-wise, this mon just doesn't do it for me, but competitive-wise, it's pretty alright. It's still not super good on its own. I mean, obviously, huge power, like, makes it a threat, but, I mean, pure power, excuse me. Pure power makes it a threat, but, like, it's not, like, super, super good, because you're pretty much always using Scarf on this thing. You're not really running any other sets. So, yeah. It's just too slow, really frail, and it's just really not that good on its own, which is why its Mega Evolution is going to be A rank for me. Because the design looks a little bit better. Still not something I'm super into, because, like I said, I don't like the lips, but, like, it looks a little bit better in my opinion. And also, it's extremely competitively viable because it's just so dangerous. It's like got some of the strongest attacks in the game, I'm pretty sure, and it's super hard to wall. So yeah, I think this thing is like super good, and I really like how it plays and looks. So I put this in A rank. I can't put it in S rank because even though it's obscenely good and competitive, the design just does not do it for me. Where I can just feel like, oh yeah, this is like one of my favorites. But yeah. He's gonna be in the same rank as Heracross and Balloon. Mankey, I like Mankey personally, but he's going into NFE because he's not good in LC. Monferno actually has a niche, I believe. Actually had a niche, if I remember correctly, in Gen 7 PU. But even knowing that, I like his design. I like Monferno's design, so I would put him in D. But I don't know if he really deserves that rank, so I might rethink that. Also, I think I'm gonna put Combuskin down here too, because these guys are definitely viable in NFE, or at least in lower tiers, but I just don't really feel like they belong in NFE. I feel like it would just be kind of weird to put them there. But yeah, Monferno is definitely a very solid design. I love that thing's design, but the one's design that I love even more is Infernape. Alright, so obviously, yeah, basic. Infernape's going to be an S tier. Wow, how surprising. Who could have guessed that another fire fighting type would be up here? But yeah, come on, it's a fire monkey. It's obviously sick. It looks sick, and it also just looks, it also plays pretty well because it's like a mixed attacker. And it's just obscenely good as a mixed attacker as well. It can use overheat, it can use close combat in the same set. It could just literally do almost whatever it wants. It could just be super splashable on your team as well. It's just so good. It's so good. It's not as good as it used to be when it first came out, which is a little bit of a damper, so it's kind of like really low on the S rank there. If his design wasn't as super good as it was, I probably would put this in A rank, but it's just so good for me, and I really, really like this mod. Riolu actually has a niche in LC, so I'm gonna put him in D rank with the others because he's very good in LC. Well, not very good, but he has a niche in LC that's good enough for me to put it in D rank and not put it in NFE. And also, it just looks cute. So yeah, we'll just leave it in there. Lucario. I'm actually just not that much of a Lucario fan personally. I'll put it in A rank, but like I don't know. This thing's design is like obviously pretty cool. I like how I just like how it looks. It looks pretty solid, but it's not really like hitting the same itch as like Infernape or Blaziken are for me personally. So I think I'm gonna leave it in A rank with a lot of the other Pokemon I actually like the designs of, because like I said, Lucario is just not super doing it for me design wise. It looks decent, but not like obscenely cool. Competitive wise, Lucario's like pretty alright, I'd say. He's not super good in like general tiers, and in monotype he's obviously like not that good at all. So yeah, I think putting Lucario here seems about right to me. Now Mega Lucario obviously is going to be put in S rank because it's obscenely good and competitive, and also look, I hear people say that this design looks worse, but I don't know. I think it looks a little bit better in some aspects and a little bit worse in some aspects too. I think there's a little too much spikes going on, and I don't know. I feel like there's too many lines as well. Just looks a little off in some parts, but it looks really cool in other parts too. So yeah, it's gonna be an S rank for me though, because obviously it's like superbly good. Krogunk actually has a niche in LC2, if I'm not wrong. Actually, I'm not sure if it does, but yeah, I'll just put it in NFE for now because I'm pretty sure it's not super relevant in LC, but I think it does have a niche. If it does, just imagine it's D rank in here, because that's where it would go. Looks pretty alright. Toxicroak is definitely a B rank mod. Toxicroak, just this thing has like the weirdest competitive history ever. So like it was like not that good on release because it was outclassed by other fighting types, and then like it was super good because of weather, and then it's just not good again because weather was gone. But like it's like one of the few fairy killing fighting types, and I think that alone makes it really cool. Because unlike Lucario, like Toxicroak can actually like destroy Azumarill, for example, and also just doesn't really care about Toxapex as well because of Dry Skin. Dry Skin in general is just like one of the best parts about Toxicroak. Is such a good ability on this mod, and I would never have expected it to be as good of an ability as it is, but it really just works so well on this Pokemon. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but yeah. Dry Skin carries this thing all the way to B rank, otherwise it'd be in C, because the design is obviously pretty cool, because it's like an attack frog. I really like that. But also, another thing I really hate about this mod, since I'm here, I hate that this thing is literally like the only Pokemon that didn't get close combat in this generation. Like, I'm pretty sure all the Pokemon that I have listed so far have close combat, except this guy, the attack frog, with literal knife daggers in his hands, literally doesn't have close combat. Makes absolutely no sense to me why Game Freak just does not give this mod close combat, but it's whatever. Speaking of Pokemon that also got close combat, Gallade. Gallade is obviously a solid A rank Pokemon, very solid looking mod. Actually, I'll put him in B rank because I forgot that this mod actually really sucks. Yeah, despite how good this mod looks, it really sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. So the only thing carrying this one to B rank is literally how it looks. It sucks though. It really does suck because I don't think it's ever been good because of its Mega Evolution just being so much better. Which, by the way, I'm putting the Mega Evolution in S rank. Just gotta get that out of the way. This mod is like so good. It's literally what Gallade should be. Just a really threatening offensive powerhouse that's like super fast. It has the option to like set up as well. But yeah, Gallade is just very, very solid looking mon. And its Mega Form is just Gallade Plus, essentially. It just looks better, it looks cooler, it has a little cape, and it has like super swords for hands. It just looks so much better. And I like Mega Gallade quite a bit because it's very good and competitive. And it's also just solid in general. It might be outclassed by Mega Medicham in a like OU tiers and stuff like that, but I still think it's very solid in its own right, and it obviously would never be allowed in UU. So if it wasn't for how good Mega Medicham was, this mon would be obviously a lot better. And that might be a little bit biased, but I think this mon's still very solid competitively because it's not its fault why it's bad. It's not like the mon itself is just flawed. It's because Mega Medicham exists. So I really think it deserves to be up here, in my opinion, because it's still good. It's just outclassed a little bit by a stupid broken mon. Mankey? I mean, no, this is Primeape. Excuse me. Primeape is a C rank. So the only reason that Primeape is even C rank, I put him in D rank. Honestly, I would put him in D rank because he literally sucks so much. But the one reason I think I'm gonna put him in C rank is because of Defiant. He's one of the few fighting types that actually has access to Defiant, and I think that is really, really cool. Defiant is like an ability I really like on fighting types because it just stops people from defogging in front of them, and it's just really good. Especially if you have like X to Stone Edge and stuff like that, it just basically beats out most defoggers, and it baits out their defog as well because they think that you're gonna switch out, but you actually just won't, and you'll stay in and just Stone Edge them to death. It's actually really nice. So yeah, I like Mankey. I mean, Primeape a little bit, but it's definitely the lowest on C rank. It's the closest to D rank it can get, in my opinion. This is an awful mon, and I don't even want to rank it. If I could make a new tier just for this Pokemon, I would, honestly. It looks so bad. Emboar? This mon is just... Yeah, I'm gonna put it in D. I really don't like this mon. It looks... It doesn't even look terrible, but it's just not great for me, in my opinion. It just really doesn't look that great. I like the Chinese warrior aspect behind it because I like Chinese history a little bit, but like it just I don't feel like they pulled it off right here. I don't think they pulled it off right at all. And I feel like this design could be so much sicker if they just did like a few things with it. But it just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. But also this mon sucks. Which is so sad because literally both parts of this mon could literally be so good, but it just sucks because it's so slow, even though it's fat. It has Reckless and two really good Reckless like abusing moves, and it also has actually a pretty decent move pool, and it hits pretty decently hard with Reckless and stuff. So it should be good, but it's not because it doesn't have the defenses to pull off any of its nonsense. It has the HP, but it doesn't have the defenses, and it's also like pitifully slow, like I said. So it just can't pull off anything really well at all competitively. It's really sad because this bond could be really good. It probably would be up here, honestly, but the design just doesn't hit it. It doesn't hit it hard enough, and its competitive viability is just not that great. So yeah, it's really sad. I wish this mod would be a lot better, but it's unfortunately just where it is. Timber is actually really viable in LC, so, and also just looks fire, so yeah, I'll just put it there. Girder also is viable in a PU, I'm pretty sure, so, but I actually don't like how Girder looks, so I'm gonna put him in NFA for now. Yeah, I'm gonna put Girder in NFA because I don't really like how it looks. Never was a fan of how he looked. Conkeldurr, on the other hand, I'll put in C because this mon is so weird. Like, he's good, but he's just also not good at the same time. Like, it's so weird how this mon acts. So like just like he's like got the Staraptor thing going on where it's like you think he's not that good or he's like super outclassed, but like he's actually just extremely strong. And he's like been borderline in almost every single generation he's been in, I'm pretty sure. Like he's very rarely actually been super viable in OU. And like bro, it's actually crazy how good this mon actually is. Like it's just fascinating to me how a slow fighting type could actually be good in this generation. But it's proof that you can make a good slow fighting type if you actually just give him the proper bulk and you give him the right abilities. And Conkeldurr is actually a very perfect example of that. And its design is also fire. Actually, I'm not going to put him at C. I'm going to put him at B. Because his design is actually pretty nice. I like the stone pillar aspect of him. And also this thing learned defog for whatever reason. And that just makes me think that he's spinning his pillars fast enough to just cause wind or something. I don't know, man. This mon's actually fire, though. I actually do like it a lot. So I'm going to put it at B. Throw. Really cool design, in my opinion. I like his design. But he sucks. A lot. Same with Sock. Actually, I don't like Sock's design that much. So I'm going to put him in D. Even though apparently he's competitively better than Throw. But I'm going to put him in D because his design is just really bad. Or it's not really bad, it's just super basic. But Throw's looks a little bit better. Yeah. It might seem super hypocritical because these guys look almost exactly the same. It's just that this guy's skinnier. But, I don't know. This design just seems super basic, but this one just seems a little bit better in my opinion. I don't know. I like grapplers, I guess, a little bit. And there's not, like, a lot of, like, grappler fighting types in this game. So, that's why I kind of like Throw a little bit more. Because Sock is just, like... Sock is basically trying to be a kung fu martial artist when we already have, like, a crap ton of like the similar thing going on with like a bunch of other fighting types, so like it just comes off as like super basic and like really not necessary. But Throw is unique because he's actually a grappler, and there are not a ton of grapplers. In fact, the only other grappler in this entire game that is a fighting type is literally Graplox, which we'll get to later. But yeah, he's kind of unique in that respect, and I really like that. So, yeah, I like Throw a little bit better. Even though he sucks a lot, he's just a little bit better design-wise than Sock, in my opinion. And obviously, both of these guys suck a lot, but yeah, it's alright. Scrafty is actually pretty decent in LC, so I'll leave him alone in that respect. His design isn't really all that for me. I mean, the baggy pants is just, like, kind of weird, in my opinion. But, yeah, Scrafty, I do not like how this thing looks at all. I know a lot of other people like how this thing looks, but I don't like it at all. Unfortunately, though, I have to put him at a C rank, because he was actually obscenely good in Gen 5. Well, not obscenely good, but he was actually relatively decent. He wasn't OU material, if I'm not mistaken, but, yeah. He was pretty decent, and he was actually really hard to beat at some points in a Gen 5 monotype. But, in general, I really don't like this thing's design. I don't really like how it looks, and I also really don't like, no, I like how it plays, actually. That's probably one of the reasons why I like it. Also, it's pretty decent in doubles, too, because of Fake Out plus Intimidate, but I think Hitmontop outclasses it, for me, personally, because of Wide Guard and stuff, so, yeah. Scrafty just doesn't do it for me. Even though it's one of the few dark fighting types, there's literally better dark fighting types, both design-wise and usefulness-wise. So, yeah. Mienfu is actually good in LC as well, so I'll put it at D rank. I'm thinking... Nah, I think I'll leave all the LC mons down here, because I think they just work better here. But I'm mainly just going to rank the fully evolved versions because I feel like those are the ones that really count. Poliwrath is just not good. The design is just weird in my opinion. because they just gave this like tadpole thing legs and fists. Like it feels like I understand it's like a Gen 1 mod, so it's like it's not going to be like super really detailed design wise, but like still, I don't know. It just looks kind of weird. I've seen better Gen 1 designs, in my opinion. It does, yeah. This mod doesn't do it for me, and it's also not that good competitively. So, sorry, Polyrath. Even though you're one of the OG fighting types, I just don't really like you that much. Which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Mian Xiao. I actually quite like this Pokemon. Yeah. I think B rank definitely fits Mian Xiao, because it's also got a weird viability history. Because it's got like a regenerator U-turn nonsense going on, and it's also got like super hard hitting reckless. It's basically a definition of a choice scarf fighting type. And even though there are better scarfers, I definitely think this is definitely the thing that pops into my head when I think choice scarf fighting type. Because it just does the job very effectively, but it's also super linear and doesn't have another typing to really like make its coverage better, which is what holds it back in my opinion from being like one of my favorite fighting types of all time. So if it was just a little bit more viable, I think I'd like it more. Also, its design is pretty alright. It's not super like godlike or anything, but it's definitely nice. I like the mantis style thing it's got going on. So yeah, I'll leave it alone. Cobalion. This thing's good, obviously, but it's not like one of my favorite designs ever. So I'll probably put it in B. It's good, but I don't really like it design-wise that much. Just look kind of boring, in my opinion. Terrakion. Terrakion is also a pretty solid fighting type. I believe I saw him in the movie, and he's actually pretty sick. But like I said, I'm not really a fan of the Swords of Justice's look. Despite them being like fighting types that I should obviously really like, I just don't like any of them that much. Like design wise, I like them viability wise. I like using them in competitive play, but design wise, they just do not do it for me. Ferrizion's actually probably my favorite of them all, so I'll put it at A rank. But unfortunately, it's balanced out by how bad it is. Because I've always wanted like a more offensive version of Breloom, a faster offensive version of Breloom. And Ferrizion's basically the closest I can get to that, so I appreciate it for that. But also, its design is probably my favorite out of all of them, but unfortunately, it's really bad, so I can't put it in S rank, it would just be bad. Keldeo. Keldeo would probably be like S rank on like everyone else's list, but I do not like how this mod looks. It's literally just water pony. And I really don't like it. I really don't like it. But it's very good, so I have to put it in A rank. Meloetta Pirouette. I don't know why this is a fighting type, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't hate the mod, but I don't understand why it's a fighting type. As a fighting type, it'd probably be like down here, but I'll put it here because I don't think design is bad. I just don't understand why it's a fighting type. And I also like using it, but unfortunately the only time you can use this thing is if you use Relic Song on regular Meloetta, who is a psychic type. So yeah, it's kind of not practical at all. I really wish they released like a pre changed Meloetta version, or that you could change them mid battle. I mean before the battle, because I'd really like to use this mod without that caveat. And I haven't really gotten to experience that, so maybe one day if they decide to do that, I'll actually probably put Meloetta higher. I'll probably put it in A rank, honestly. But as it is right now, she's B rank because she's too niche, and although I don't really hate the design, I don't understand why it's a fighting type. It just does not look like one, in my opinion. Next up we got Chestnut. I really like Chestnut's design, but it sucks. So I'm gonna put it at B rank. because even though it is the GOAT design-wise, I really do not like how it plays at all. It tries to play like a defensive Pokemon, but it doesn't really have the tools to do that, and it also has a really bad defensive typing. So yeah, it's just not that good at what it wants to do. It actually put it at no. I like how it looks, but I do not like it. Doesn't play well at all. Actually, yeah, I think it actually just gets dragged down so bad by how bad it is. I'm gonna put it in C. Pancham is obviously fire, but yeah, design wise it's fire. I'll put it here, but it's not viable in LC at all. It's like really bad there. Uh, Pangoro. Pangoro sucks, but its design is pretty nice, so I'll put it in C. But this one really sucks. Once again. Not really much I can really say about it. Yeah, B or C rank seems about right. I think I'll put it in C, honestly, because it just sucks that much. It's so bad. It's so slow, and it can't even like hit hard enough, and it's not even super bulky. So like, it just sucks. It really does suck. But yeah, next mod we got is Hawlucha. Hawlucha is definitely S rank. One of my favorite fighting types. I love how it looks. I love how it plays. It's consistently good in almost every single generation it's been in. It's just such a good fighting type. My god. One of my favorites, for sure. Yeah, I love this thing. And I also love Ash's Hawlucha too. Super fire. Machop going down here, not good in LC. Same with you. This mon is absolute garbage. I hate that mon. I do not like it at all. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna put a separate ranking. Also, this should be up here, but I'm gonna make a separate ranker real quick. I'm gonna make a good NFE mons. Good NFE mons, yeah. Oh wait, this is in D rank, so let me just add a different row. Good NFE mons. Alright, but yeah, we're just gonna put these here. Because I feel like it's weird to put some of the other mods here. Especially if they like suck like Criminal. So yeah.